So I've just finished watching Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2. It's actually just now 3:15 in the morning. This was a much better episode than Episode 1. It was still pretty much entirely built up and set up, but it felt much more meaningful than simply just reunions. So as predicted, it does end with the shot from the early trailer where the White Walkers have just got to facing Winterfell. And with the exception of one small scene where Tormund was talking about being suckled by a giant's milk, which felt sort of really weird and didn't really make sense. The rest of the episode was really, really good. So it starts off with debating Jaime in the Great Hall and what to do with him. Because of the earlier trailer for Season 8, we know that he would be in the battle, or rather we knew he would be in the battle. So this scene had a given outcome. There's obviously quite a bad reaction to finding out how Cersei has betrayed the Alliance and the Pact. Some unexpected things do happen, like Arya has sex with Gendry. A lot of the episode, probably half, was the night before the battle. There's a smaller scene with Beric Dondarrion, Arya and the Hound, and a bigger scene with Jaime, Brienne, Tyrion, Tormund, Podrick and Sir Davos. And one of the most emotional moments, and really I think one of the best moments of this episode, was discussing how Brienne wasn't a knight. So literally on the spot, Jaime knights her. At the end of the episode, actually, Jon tells Dany that he's essentially her nephew, and the truth about his heritage. For dramatic purposes, that's cut before the conversation can be finished, when the horn blows to let them know that the White Walkers are there. Interestingly enough, though, there's no Cersei or King's Landing or Bronn scenes, which as much as I did want to see that, I think it worked, and which will be fine as long as there's more of it towards the end of the season. Overall, though, it was a really good episode. They did manage to cover a lot of characters and in terms of how they're reacting to the situation and the coming doom, really. So ultimately, much more meaningful setup and character building than in episode 1. Especially a lot of the smaller scenes like Jorah arguing with Lyanna Mormont, which didn't detract from the more important scenes, like the War Council when they're discussing how they're going to fight the Night King, though they still don't know that he has undead Viserion. So episode 3 will be much more interesting to see how, when it plays out, how they react to undead Viserion. But yeah, overall a terrific episode.